Corporate Recruiter here to review your resumes. This is a resume of a data entry person. So what we need for data entry is not a lot. We need Microsoft Office. You absolutely need that. No grammatical errors. In fact, a lot of candidates assume that if they have a single spelling mistake, they're going to get rejected. And that's not the case. But if you're doing like admin assistant roles or data entry roles, then it actually does become the case. I've seen plenty of candidates of like software engineers get hired for spelling errors. I have not seen any like admin work ever getting past anybody if they have a spelling error. So if you're applying for a role that requires grammatical accuracy like this, make sure there's no errors. Scheduling and data organization, data entry experience, and then the industry. So like medical software or CRMs, that kind of stuff. And that multitask while meeting multiple deadlines. So this person has a terrifyingly bad ratio. I have literally uploaded this resume to over 600 applications with 0 results. No first round interviews, no email, no follow-up, nothing. All positions have remote data entry or remote customer service. So there are a couple of things that could be wrong with it, but first let's see if it passes the basic test of, do you actually have what I need to move you forward with? Because that's going to matter the most. So recruiters have 20 seconds. Let's see if I can find those things in 20 seconds and go. Can't use anything here. All right. Can't use anything here. All right. Business owners on staffing. This is completely not related. Research wrote plans for Sir Semmery's funding. Why do I care about funding? Represent business plans and initiatives to investors. Yeah, this is not related at all. Handled accounts payable. Okay, that's it. Yeah, this is a problem. So, whoo boy, there's a lot here. So, first off, the biggest issue is, assuming a recruiter even gets to see you, which I can talk about later, is you have absolutely nothing I would want in this resume. The reason you are getting 0 is this has nothing I need for a data analyst. Not a data analyst, a data entry person, yet alone remote, just on site. This is why you are having issues, is like, there's nothing here. There's absolutely nothing here. You have spent almost this entire time with absolutely nothing. So here's what you need to do. First off, formatting. Use this formatting. It's on my website. The link is below. It's free. You need to use it. This is the formatting that will help, okay? So fix the formatting, make it there. And if you noticed on that little page, there was no summary and there was no core competency. So you should not have those. Second, we go down here and maybe you scrubbed it by sending it to my stream, which is okay, but there's no dates here. If I ever see a candidate with no date information on their resume, it's immediately suspect. I need to see your years of employment. I need to see that you've been at a company from X month to Y month. So those are already 2 very big red flags. And then we get to the actual bullet points, right? All of this is before I actually get to the bullet points. And this is why you're having 600 no issues. This tells me nothing. Why do I care about staffing and developmental strategies? How is that related to data entry? It's not. Research, develop, wrote business plans. Why is that related? That's business plans. That's not data entry. That's not what you would be doing as a data entry person. Professionally represent and perfect plans and initiatives to investors. Okay, but again, that's not necessarily written. You are implying you have good writing skills. When I need you to state, used Microsoft Office and Excel to create plans to present to senior leadership to secure funding. That would be that alone could get you interviews, but you don't say any of that. You tell me about training and mentor people. Why would I ever move forward with somebody that does not have the bare minimum qualifications I need? That's the part that every single person messes up on. Is you all assume that I need this stuff down here that's highlighted because this is fancy. It's whoa, it's in your face. It's cool, but it's not. That's not what we need. Hiring is boring. Hiring is not fun. It is extremely boring. And the fact is your resume should be boring. A boring resume gets interviews. I don't need to see that you develop marketing programs to draw a surplus of quarterly membership by 220K. That's exciting. I don't want any of that. I want boring. I need you to just state, again, created a document using Microsoft Office and Excel to present to senior leaderships to show them past data experience or whatever, right? Like, that's what I need. This is so much and does absolutely nothing for you. So that is the biggest core problem that you are facing, is this entire resume should be deleted and redone. Like I don't think there is literally anything in here that I could salvage as a sentence, at least in the first page. And there's no way I'm going past that. Remember, I have 20 seconds, especially for remote role, which is what you're looking for. So the second thing that is impacting you is, if you're applying for remote roles, you need to apply early. The faster you apply, the better your chances. People assume the ATS is a machine that rejects people. That's not the case. An ATS sorts people in the order they applied. So the faster you apply compared to other people, the better your chances. And if you already see 100 or 200 people on a job, you probably are not going to get seen, especially for a remote role. For an on-site role, maybe you might be able to, but for a remote role, it's probably they're going to find somebody. So you need to be fast and you need to be quick, but first off, you need to redo all of this because there's nothing here. Like, I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but this is probably the worst resume I think I've reviewed here in a long time, because even other bad resumes have at least something, but this makes me feel like I got the wrong resume. This makes me feel like this was a software engineer position and the only experience you had was as a chef. So this is the problem, is you've got nothing because this is a terrible resume. So please fix it. Like, again, I'm not saying you are garbage. You are not. You are struggling right now and you don't know what to do, which is why I'm here to help. But your resume is the problem. This is nothing here. You have made almost a page and a half of literally nothing. Yeah, again, even down here, there's nothing I need. I don't see literally anything that I could be used that replies data entry. So delete this, redo it. You may want to read my guide. It's on my webpage, but your big thing is you need these. These are the only thing that's important. And again, these are boring, right? It's boring to put Excel and PowerPoint. It's boring to put scheduling and data organization, but in a world of clicks and instant gratification, recruitment is boring. I'm sorry. There's no way to make it interesting. There's no way to make a resume fun to read. It's not going to happen. It's boring. It's basic. It's a governmental form that once we have the information, we move to the next stage, and that's all we need, and you need to write it like that. So if you ever need more help, you can always stop by my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with your friends and family that need help. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a data analyst. So what we need in a data analyst is degree, industry, SQL, data visualization, Tableau, Power BI, Looker, stakeholders, explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders, how you solved a problem with data, not what the data is, MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, Word, Python, R, multiple projects, and deadlines. And so what the industry is in this case is every industry is going to have some particular qualifications that I'm not going to be aware of because I have a very broad overview of a lot of industries. So for healthcare, which I believe this one is, we're going to want like HIPAA and something 7 counts. So let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. Because again, that's the only amount of time we have. Why is this not showing up on the screen? There we go. And go. Oh my gosh, this wall of text. Data sets, I don't care about that. Gather requirements, why do I care about that? The SQL, I kind of do. Data quality, I don't care about that. At least I care about the HL7. Python is nice. Yeah, this would be a rejection immediately. So they committed the biggest sin a data analyst can make, and a lot of other people, is they told me how they got the data, not what they did with the data. And when you're a data analyst, most people don't care how you got it, right? Like during college, your entire thing is how you got the data. You need to make sure the data is accurate. The data is correct. All this other stuff about the data. But once you get to work, they don't care. And this entire resume is bad because you're focusing on how you got the data. Like, look, analyze complex data sets to identify denial patterns, driving a 20% improvement in operational clinical... I don't care about that. Again, you're trying to impress me. Gathered requirements from RCM to develop, optimize... A good data analyst, which I have videos of, you should watch them. I don't remember off the top of my head which one they are, but is just saying, like, used SQL, Python, and MS Excel to create macros and pivot tables of let's say, denial patterns, which I presented to our stakeholders to help them understand the product better. Like, that would be an infinitively better sentence. But this is nonsense. And again, you spent how many bullet points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you've only been there for 10 months, give or take, when this was recorded at least. This is not how you do it. This is not how you do it. This should be 3 to 5 bullet points maximum. And you focus so much about stuff that I just don't care about. Like, you cannot cram everything into a resume. People think that if you cram everything into it, the ATS will be like, oh, you got me. You put everything into it. You pass. But that's not what an ATS does. Again, it's first come, first serve. So the human that is looking at this, the human who may not know your industry as well and is probably overworked and has not had a good break, is going to read this and be like, none of this is related, decline. So I need you to redo all of this. And the person who submitted this, you need to look at some of the other data analyst resumes I've had, because can I find the one that's a success off the top of my head? Let me see if I can do that. Because, like, this is just, it doesn't work, right? Like, there's nothing here that works for this. You focus so much on all this stuff. It's just like you crammed a bunch of words in. So I need you to go back to the drawing board, because I don't think there's, like, almost anything that is salvageable in this. Let's see. Can I find that? Okay. So yeah, there are some good data analyst resumes I've had, specifically healthcare. You're going to have to dig through them in some of my videos, unfortunately, but this just does not fly. This is, and that's just not even counting the fact that you may or may not need sponsorship. Like, even a really, really good, great resume that requires sponsorship may only get 1 out of every 100 applications. This, though, this is nothing. There's not, like, practically nothing here, and it's so condensed that they're going to miss what they actually need. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software developer. So this is their second or third iteration. What we need with a full stack developer is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. That should be like the first thing I see. Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, .NET or Python or Java, and a bonus points for architecture, extra lineage to get in DevOps. So, can we find it? And let's find out. System using React, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, perfect. And Node.js for students and faculty to interact course models. Okay, good. Integrated AWS services such as with GraphQL to enable real-time content. Okay, good. Well, I'm a little off on this one, but still. Automation platform using Java, Spring Boot, RESTful API, React. Okay, so this is better than the last one. There are some flaws, but let me read what you wrote. So I've updated the resume and wanted to share the changes. I've reorganized the text app to appear at the top instead of the end. Good. Replace the secure document sharing platform with a LMS system since it aligns better. Shorten and refine the bullet points to keep them more concise. I would really appreciate if you could really update it once more. So yes, this is better. I want to be clear. Now we're getting to, like, Lee is going to be very picky since this is like your second or third time, but this is mostly good. But there are, sorry, my dog is trying to get my attention and he's 90 pounds. So what is good here, right, is this. I like this. My problem is here is I don't really think they're gonna care about this. Like, it's not that I haven't seen GraphQL before, right? It's just so rare that I don't know, because I added it to the list. So I think my bigger issue is, yeah, this is it, is I don't know if I need DynamoDB here, right? Or AppSync, and GraphQL is like, I do have it, but again, it's like one of those like maybes. So I want something else here. Like, is there anything else we could put here? They're also in chat, and I'm going to help them out after this. Then we go down to here, and again, this is, I want you to remember, when we have built full stack, this is where you put parentheses, JavaScript, HTML, CSS again. All right, so your very first bullet should say JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and then it will do using Java, Spring Boot, RESTful API, and React and Angular. The rest of that is fine. So again, this is not bad. I do not want you to think this is bad. This is pretty solid. It's just we could tweak it and make it slightly easier to read. And code reviews, and containerization in CD Pipeline Jenkins. And I think we can kind of meld these together. So, although I will say it is a bit of an issue, is not a lot of people in the U.S. take experience outside the U.S. that seriously. But this is something that we at least need to do, is sort of combine these two together. So, again, is this a terrible resume? Not at all. No, I think this could get interviews. It's just I want to take it to like sort of the next level, especially because I am going to make an assumption, which may be incorrect. You are an international, and internationals, even with a good resume, they used to have, based on my formatting, every 30 applications they get an interview or less. And unfortunately, with the new law changes, it's now close to 1 in 100, and that's actually good. So, yeah, there are a couple of changes we can make, which I will make outside of this video because they're in my Twitch chat. For everybody else, next, resume. This is a UI UX designer, with the full disclosure that it's been a bit since I've done a UI UX, and I might need to update these, and these are for the US as well. So I think I'm only going to be, even best case scenario, finding only about 80% of these. What I need for a UI UX designer is UX UI design for mobile or web or, I don't know, Paint or whatever. Figma, Sketch, Adobe Illustrator, InVision, Adobe Creative Suites, user research, usability testing, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, manage multiple projects and meet deadlines, explain data to non-tech people, i.e. stakeholders, to improve customer experience, bonus for AI and maybe like wireframing or something. But those are the primary ones we need. So can I find it in 20 seconds? Let's find out and go. Okay, can't use anything here. Partner with PMs, founders, marketing, launch, optimize digital projects. That's okay. At least it tells me what you do, but nothing else. Bad. Nothing there in that sentence. Nothing there in that sentence. Nothing there. Gamified. Don't care. Okay, yeah, there's nothing here. This is a reject. They did not tell me any notes, but again, the problem is I don't see what I need. Now, maybe this is a case of the UK being radically different than the US, which could happen. Full disclosure, again, I'm a US-based recruiter, and sometimes other countries and other places have different ways of doing it and different things they want. But to my, at least, US-based bent, I don't see anything I need here. Did I get the wrong role? No, you said UI UX designer. So, yeah, this is not what I would be looking for, right? Like, remember, if it's not this, I don't really care about it. Like, partnered with PM developers, designers, and founders is actually fine. Like, that's an okay way to do it because those are stakeholders, and you can at least use that to explain non-tech to them. But you didn't really tell me anything else besides digital products, so and that's even digital products alone is a little vague. Like, what do you mean digital products? Like, if I go to right now to a website and I click a button, was that it? Was it sent to my phone? Was it Neopets? Was it Pokemon? I don't know. Those are all digital, but you don't really tell me what. So I wanted you to be a little more specific than digital. But the rest of it in a agile environment is good because that's actually something they may want. Then we get to everything else, and the problem is I get nothing. Like, remember, these are the things that I care about, but you have to show me how you did it and the reason and result you did it. That is why skill sections don't count. And if I scroll down, I see a skill section which has actually most of the things I need. But again, I cannot use those because you did not write about them here. The stuff in the skills section needs to be here. So this is where I'm having an issue with this, is this I don't really have anything I see that I need. Like, spearheaded the creation of a mood board creation flow? What is that? I don't know what that is. Reducing planning time by, why do I care about planning time? 30% and achieve 90% task success? Why not 10%? What's UT? Why do I care about task percentage and discoverability? I don't know. You did not tell me. This is the stuff I need, at least in the US, and I imagine it at least is similar in the UK. So maybe you want, instead of Adobe, you want, I don't know, broccoli or something. I don't know what people call names. But this doesn't have it. Like, you're focusing on delivered a 0 to 1 freemium MVP and scaled users. What is the product? I don't know what the product is. Is this impressive? Do I care that it scaled to 100K? I don't know, because you don't give me the context. So stop using these numbers. Stop using these percentages, because this is not what I want. Like, if you have 1 or 2 percentages in your entire resume, that's probably as much as you want to ever have, unless you are specifically in sales or like a manager, like a director. But this is just nothing. Like, again, there's not really anything here. Like, where's the JavaScript HTML? Where's the Figma? Where's the Sketch, the Adobe, the Illustrator, the InVision? Where's the UI UX design? In fact, that's actually an issue. I don't see anything you did involving UI UX. Now, it may make perfect sense to you that obviously X means Y, but the rule of resume creation is you can never imply anything. If you imply X means Y, we will assume you do not have Y. So there's not much more I can do because there's just like nothing here. But let's go to the next resume. Intern for a software engineer. You know the drill. Degree, basic knowledge of the tech stack, language, library, SQL, cloud. Ability to work well with others, takes direction and criticism. That's it. So can we find it in 20 seconds? Let's go. All right. Degree, good. Full stack web page, good. Using Python, React, SQL, okay. JavaScript, HTML. The rest of this I don't care about, but at least it's started good. Build a full stack whether using type of the okay. Too technical. And decline because I don't see how you can work well with others. So, your tech stuff is actually okay. This is not like garbage, but this would get declined. So, I've changed up my resume multiple times. This is the current one I just started using, so there are no results for it yet. I'm trying to get an internship. I've been applying since summer and I've gotten no interviews. So yeah, you're focusing on the wrong thing. So if you notice, I say basic knowledge of the tech stack, which I actually think you have here. This is pretty solid right here. I don't need this. I don't care about this. You really stop using percentages. I hate how everybody uses percentages. It makes every resume so much worse. But the problem is you don't tell me that you can work well with others or take direction and criticism. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, right? But this is critical for an intern because what a company hates having to do is having people not work out, right? They hate bad hires. They would rather make a no hire than a bad hire. And that is across multiple industries, across multiple managers. Making a bad hire is worse than making no hire. That's why a lot of jobs go unfilled, is they do not want to make a bad hire. So, your problem here is you do not show, like I said, worth others. And the problem with that is, let's say you had all the technical skills, right? Which you mostly do. I think there's ways to improve that. But let's say you had the biggest technical skills. You get to the interview, they hire you, and they tell you, hey, intern, just letting you know your code is a little buggy. Here's how to fix it. And you stare them dead in the eye, and then you start cursing them out. Because there are interns that will do that. They cannot take direction. They cannot take any criticism. Anything that it says about them, they will fight tooth and nail to prove you wrong. And especially prevalent in software engineering. There's a lot of that cases. You can probably look at the comments of this video to find out some people that are having that issue. But you need to show that you can work well with others and take direction and criticism, because it is a myth that if you're the best coder in the world, you can do anything you want. You still need to work with people. Every single one of us needs to work with other people. And for a intern, this is the first time you may actually be in a professional environment. And we need to show that you can do that. So even if we go down here, which people can't see, we actually have a problem that you were only at this job for like 3 months, right? Like, this is bad. This actually shows that you can't work there. Like, it would be better if you did not have this because you were only there since August. And that's what, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months? Did that mean you got fired because you made fun of somebody or they made fun of you? This is the stuff that goes through hiring managers' heads when they review this. They will call back to the recruiter and say, hey, Lee, why did you submit them? I say, well, they met the tech skills. I'm like, yeah, but this is the type of person that I would tell them they need to fix it and they would try to slap me. And that's stuff that can happen. When I was a new recruiter, there was a candidate I had a bit of a bad feeling about, and I didn't know socially if they, were what we needed. And what ended up happening is they went through, and I had somebody else check them. They went through. The manager also thought the same thing, but like, whatever, should be fine. They got escorted out by the cops. I don't remember what they did because they never actually told me that, and that would be too much information, but this is why it matters that you can show you can work with people as an intern, is they don't want to risk that. That is a giant risk. So tech-wise, you've got mostly what they need, right? It's a little, you could write it a little bit better, and it's a little clearer to what it actually is. There's some extraneous stuff, but a bigger issue is you don't show that you can work with others or take direction and criticism. So that's all I can do for this resume. Thank you all very much for watching it. Please like, comment, subscribe, send it to your friends and family that need help. And if they need help or you need help more than these videos, you can join me on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I will see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.